Are you a builder or a multiplier? From the untold lesson of leadership from Esther and Mordecai, we've idolized entrepreneurship. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that if you don't own a business, if your name is not on the brand, then you are somehow less successful. But what if I told you building from scratch is not more honorable than helping someone else build theirs? Because not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur. Some people are called to partner with another person's vision, strengthen it, manage it, and multiply it. That person is called an intrapreneur. Today we are going to learn the difference through one of the most overlooked leadership partnership in the Bible, Mordecai and Esther. By the end of this video, I want you to answer if you are an Esther or a Mordecai. But first, we'll give practical examples of an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur. Take for example, a parent gives birth to a child. The parent nurtures the child. That is their child. But a teacher develops the child's potential. The teacher guides the child. Those are the differences between an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur. Another example is a house. A person buys a piece of land, gets an architect, come up with a plan and builds the house. That person is an entrepreneur. So now an intrapreneur comes in, redesign the kitchen, improve the layout, choose the furniture. They didn't build the house. They just made the house look better. So an entrepreneur builds while an intrapreneur manages and improves on the vision of the entrepreneur. So you are working on the entrepreneur's vision. That's just what it is. And both of them are very, very honorable characters. Like be an intrapreneur to be successful. You can be an entrepreneur and be successful. You can be an intrapreneur and yet be successful. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at Esther and Mordecai, and this is coming from the book of Esther. So most people say Esther saved the Jewish people. While that is true, but I'm also going to say Mordecai saved the Jews. Hear me out. Mordecai had the vision. Esther was a little young girl who had her mind wrapped up with so many things. Mordecai stepped in. Mordecai had the vision, and Mordecai didn't have access to the king's throne room. Esther did. So Esther was working on Mordecai's vision, not on Esther's vision. Esther partnered with Mordecai to make Mordecai's vision or dreams come true by saving the Jewish people. Esther was close to the king. She had access to the king. Mordecai didn't have access to the king. Mordecai understood Esther's position before she fully understood it herself. Esther used her influence, her courage, wisdom, and position to change history. But all of that was Mordecai's vision. Mordecai's vision was to save the Jewish people, but he didn't just have the means to save them. Esther came into the picture to save the Jewish people. But all along, Mordecai was the foundation and Esther was the bridge. You don't have to own a platform to make an extraordinary impact. Not everybody is called to be an intrapreneur. Not everybody is called to be an entrepreneur. You can be an intrapreneur, because being an entrepreneur, it requires a whole lot of skills, a set of skills. Everybody has those skills, okay? You can be an entrepreneur, which is okay, and be successful, or you can be an intrapreneur and also be successful. They go hand in hand. One of them is leadership and partnership. Okay, the entrepreneur is the leader, the intrapreneur is a partner. In most businesses, most companies, they do the same thing. The only difference is that the entrepreneur is left with sole decision making for the business or the company, but the rest is being taken care of by the intrapreneur. The things we can learn from this story of Mordecai and Esther. If you are a Mordecai, don't just chase your success. Raise people, mentor people, teach them, open doors for them, help them discover what God has placed inside of them. Mordecai again raised Esther. Mordecai was Esther's cousin, and he raised her for a time like that. He nurtured Esther. Esther was an orphan, and like we all know, she has no place in the palace. But because she was around, she surrounded herself with Mordecai. She was raised by Mordecai. So that's how Esther found her place in the palace next to a king. So Mordecai did not just, Mordecai actually nurtured Esther, raised Esther, and opened doors for Esther. Your greatest legacy may not be what you build. It may be who you build. And if you are an Esther, value wise counsel, stay humble, remember the people who invested in you before anyone knew your name. Esther was very, very loyal to her uncle. She listened to her uncle. Whatever her uncle told her was exactly what Esther did. From the Bible, from what we know about the story of Mordecai and Esther, you can see Mordecai was a very strict uncle. He was not that kind of uncle you can just, play with. So, and Esther was humble. Okay, and Esther took wise counseling. She was not a stubborn little girl who thought she knew it all. Another lesson we can learn from this story, Esther, as an Esther, use your influence to serve a purpose greater than yourself. Do not be selfish. Do not be selfish. It's okay to build on another person's vision. It is very, very okay. Not everybody is called to build, but you can improve somebody else's vision. That's going to be possible if you are not selfish. Access without purpose is just a privilege, but access with purpose can change history. As an Esther, stay humble. Remember the people who invested in you before anyone knew your name. Use your influence to serve a purpose greater than yourself, because access without purpose is just privilege, but access with purpose can change history. Remember, entrepreneurs start the engine. Intrapreneurs keep the engine running and make it faster. The world needs builders. The world needs multipliers. One starts the vision, the other helps fulfill it. So they are both dependent on each other. So after watching this video, what do you think? Are you a Mordecai or an Esther? Mordecai, someone who sees opportunities, develops people, and starts the vision. Or an Esther, someone who uses influence, courage, and wisdom to multiply an existing vision. Tell me in the comment section. And if this video changed the way you think about leadership, purpose, success, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.